Hey, Dansby, good morning.
Good morning. How are y'all doing?
We're doing great, man. It's good to have you on. There's so many things to get to with you. First of all, why don't you just reset the off season? I mean, you guys make a nice, long, deep run in the postseason again. What was your winter like this year?
I feel like it's always a little bit different each year, right? Like your winter, it can be crazy at times, especially with the state of everything that's going on. So just try to enjoy it as much as I could with with Mal and my family and friends. So I'm a homebody. I think everybody knows that. I like just hanging out and stuff. So just got to be able to enjoy, relax, and continue to work towards being a better player.
Dansby, it's Harold here. Hey, one of the things I saw as I got a chance to watch a lot of stuff with you was a tour you did of the new ballpark and the facilities in Atlanta. It was a couple years ago you did this tour. But we haven't really had a chance to dive in because last year we didn't get a chance to even come to the ballparks. So take the fans kind of through some of the highlights of behind the scenes at the ballpark, the clubhouse and stuff like that. It was pretty impressive.
No, it's a beautiful place. They did such an outstanding job when they did the stadium. I feel like it's the best part about it is there is so much space. There's so much space to be able to move around. They don't feel like you're on top of each other. Everything was done with a purpose. It was designed specifically for us to feel comfortable, but for us to also be able to become a better team, better players. So. They did great with it. The weight room's beautiful. The training room's nice and open. There's just a lot of space that helps us be able to win more games.
Hey, so let's talk a little baseball. We talk a lot about Ron Washington over here and how much impact he's had, but I want to ask you something a little different. We all know about Wash and the impact, but I wanted to ask you about playing with Ozzie Albies. Not many combinations play together as long as you guys have. It's only been 3 years or so, but what have you learned playing with each other over these few years?
Yeah. Honestly, it started in Mississippi, because we were there for a couple of years together, or not a couple of years, but a couple months together. So we've had a lot of familiarity ever since I got here, and I felt like our personalities mesh really well. So as soon as I got traded, we were kind of in constant communication from that point on. I give him a hard time, though, because in the offseason, he never answers my texts, but we can get to that another day. But I just feel like we have this ability to work together, which is obviously something that you want up the middle. But he does such an amazing job of being able to kind of not necessarily just lighten the mood, but really be able to get you to believe in yourself, believe in the team, and also have fun and enjoy playing. I always tell people, if it's their first time being around them or being around this team, I was like, if you have a chance, just go sit down and listen to him and Wash talk to each other because they talk nothing but trash to each other. I like to be on the side and kind of instigate a little bit here and there. But he's an awesome player, awesome guy, and definitely happy to have him as a teammate and looking forward to another year with him this year.
Well, you guys have an amazing coaching staff. I mean, I played against Walt Weiss forever and Kevin Seitzer. And I watched your offense just continue to take off and blossom. I want to know the impact that Seitzer's had on you.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, right, it's a constant working relationship, and just being able to work together, communicate, because I feel like the most important part about coaching not necessarily is just knowledge, but it's the ability to communicate with players and to be able to understand what it is they think. There's not just one way to do a certain thing. There's a bunch of different ways that you can get to that point. So being able to communicate and learn each other and learn language and be able to come up with things that are going to work for me it has been important. And I mean, as you know, too, every year in this game, you look to get better. You look for ways to improve. So being able to have that experience and come back each year and be better is really important.
So you go into the offseason and you finished the year last year on a nice roll, and you've been really, the last couple of years, you've turned a corner to being the star player that we all anticipated. What did you work on this winter to get back to this year?
Yeah, so to be honest, the biggest thing that I feel like I focused on last winter and this most previous one is just myself mentally. I feel like when I embrace myself and really build confidence in myself and believability, then I have the ability to do pretty much anything. I feel like that's just kind of been the biggest key for me. I've been working with I call him like my mental wellness coach for a couple of years now, and really dialed into how I can be a better version of myself and really embrace who I am. And I feel like that is kind of the biggest thing that's put me over the top. It's just really building that confidence and being who I believe I'm supposed to be, and being able to kind of take that each day to the field. I feel like that brings so much more consistency to not only my life, but to how I play and how I do it night in and night out.
So I guess along those lines, Dansby, and I don't know like how deep you get into your own numbers and your own kind of analytic profile, but one of the many things that I'm in awe of about your back of the baseball card are your numbers in the 7th inning and later. 3rd and 4th at-bats of a game sometimes don't come easy for players, but for you find that extra gear. Is that something you've worked on specifically, and to what do you attribute that success?
There's a couple things. I mean, I feel like in those moments I've always embraced them. I feel like I've always enjoyed being in those moments. For some reason, when those at-bats come in the 7th, 8th, 9th inning, or even later than that, everything just seems to slow down. The world seems to slow down, seems to spin a little bit slower. Maybe it's just because I'm breathing slower. I don't know what it is exactly, but everything kind of slows down, and I feel like everything gets pretty tunnel visioned, in those moments. And I would say I attribute that to a couple different things. I'd say playing multiple sports growing up for me has always been a big deal. Competing in different environments. I played basketball my whole life until I got to college. Being able to compete, in college at the highest level and be exposed to any and every situation that anybody could be, I feel like really has built my confidence in those innings, and just kind of, I guess, propels me forward in those moments, which we're looking to take that same mentality to the rest of the game now. So to be able to kind of be locked in like that the whole time. But it's definitely something that I've always loved and embraced my whole life, really.
I love the double pun Twitter handle, by the way, Lieutenant Dan's 7. Lieutenant Dan, you got new legs. Love that.
I'll give you a quick funny story about that, though. So my freshman year in college, I had actually broken my foot, and I was on one of those scooters you like put your knee on and you roll around. And so that's when I made that Twitter name, was when I was actually on a scooter with a broken foot. Right?
That's pretty good. Hey, I want to ask you the last question from me. What were you thinking when Ozuna stopped and did the selfie? Were you like, what?
I didn't even know it. I didn't even see it until somebody was like, did you just see what he did? And I'm like, I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, he just hit one 430 feet. Like, that's what I saw, That's what I saw. I didn't see the stop and take a selfie. And then once kind of like the video of it came out when we were talking in the locker room after, it just kind of became our thing. It was, I don't even know where he got it from. I don't know where he gets a lot of the stuff that he comes up with. But I love it. The whole mix it up thing last year. I asked him, I said, what does that mean? He goes, I don't know, Bobby, but I love it. And I'm like, I'm with you. Like, I'm there. So I'm so thankful that we have him back. I know everybody else on the team is too.
Yeah, we're fans. We're fans here. We love
fans of Dansby
This is a good
Swanson,
one, man. Yeah, dude. Thanks for taking some time with us, Dansby. Way to go, and we'll check in with you during the season.
Awesome. I appreciate it.